Hello and welcome to Go For It. I am your host, Paul Gannon. We will be talking sports and having fun doing it. I want all your ideas, all your opinions, and all your beliefs. And, of course, as always, you will get a heavy dose of my opinion. A-Rod, at this point, this is his last opportunity, as far as I'm concerned, to play the game that he's loved. I mean, he's played the game 19 years. He's played the game his whole life. His whole life. Dedicated to the sport of baseball. That's not going to be easy to give up. Even if you're dead wrong. Even if you juiced. We all know he juiced for 3 years. That's what he told us. We know for a fact, definitively, from his mouth, for 3 years I juiced. That's what he told us. For 3 years. Obviously, it's probably some more years there. His numbers, his greatness may be attributed to the juice, to PEDs. You remember Ryan Braun, who said this back in February of 2012?
If I had done this intentionally or unintentionally, I'd be the first one to step up and say, I did it. By no means am I perfect, but if I've ever made any mistakes in my life, I've taken responsibility for my actions. I truly believe in my heart, and I would bet my life that this substance never entered my body at any point.
You remember that, Ryan Braun? That's the same guy who bet his life. His life! Is there anything more precious than your life? He bet his life that nothing entered his body, knowingly or unknowingly. Nothing in terms of performance-enhancing drugs has entered the body of Ryan Braun. He bets his life on it. Obviously, Alex Rodriguez didn't go that far, and quite frankly, I hope he wouldn't go that far. He bet his life. His life. Wow. So, Ryan Braun got off for a bit of time, but ultimately, it caught up to him. The truth caught up to him. I'm one of these guys, I still don't believe Tim Tebow is an NFL quarterback. Well, he is an NFL quarterback, but I don't think he's going to be a very good NFL quarterback. I still do not believe in Tim Tebow. So let's be clear about that right now. I still don't believe in Tim Tebow, but I got to give him credit. He was the man on Sunday. And, 316 yards is 316 yards. And this is against a very, very good Steelers defense. This wasn't against a bad defense. This was against a very good Steelers defense. So you got to give him credit. 10 for 21 is not great. Granted, that's not great at all. But the 316 yards is. And the victory in overtime is also very great. Let's bring in now someone who is great as well. 11-time Pro Bowler, 2012 Hall of Fame finalist, the one, the only, Willie Roaf. Willie, how are you, sir?
Doing good. Well, we also had two D linemen that got hurt during the game. We also had Ryan Clark, who couldn't play, that was out during the game. So they weren't in full. The Steelers' defense wasn't at full strength.
But Willie, I understand that. Those are fair points. Those are very, very fair points. But this is a guy, Tim Tebow, who the week before was 6 for 22 for 60 yards against the Kansas City Chiefs. Him in now, one of the stars of Who Gets the Last Laugh, the one, the only, Donald Faison. Your Knicks have the best chance out east, though. I will say that. The Knicks have the best chance in the Eastern Conference to beat the Miami Heat. And the Knicks have had some success against the Miami Heat in the regular season, but
that doesn't mean anything when the playoffs time. When the playoffs come, it doesn't mean anything.
I was trying to throw you. I was trying to throw you a bone, man. I was trying to get your hopes up.
Come on, man. I'm a realist too, man. I remember I had a buddy that was like, Patrick Ewing's the best player in the NBA. I was like, Patrick Ewing's the best player in the NBA? What are you talking about? He's like, Patrick Ewing's the best player in the NBA. Nobody could shoot like him. He rebounds. He does all these things. I was like, but look at Michael. What about Michael Jordan? He was like, nah, man, Michael Jordan's not a Knick. Patrick Ewing's the best player in the NBA. That's delusional. I come from reality. I live in reality. I'm a realist.
Well, I tried.
No doubt.
The franchise, Steve Francis, Earlier this year, your former coach, Jeff Van Gundy, had an interesting comment. He said his biggest regret is he tried to change you too soon. Looking back on that whole situation, did you think that really was the case?
I mean, at that time, when Coach Van Gundy came over, I really thought I was unstoppable, you know?
Okay.
And he didn't want me to shoot as much. He didn't want, he wanted me to defend more. Did we both make mistakes at that time? Yes, we both did. And I was so excited that he recognized that through, our relationship. And we still remain friends to this day. Me and him cool as a family.
Former fiance of Jason Collins, Carolyn Moose, you said in previous interviews that you did not know. You've had a few days to kind of think about this whole thing. Was there any indication at all within the relationship or during the 8 years that he was possibly gay? Any type of indication that you may have overlooked?
No. Yeah, okay. None whatsoever. Yeah, it's tough because, some of his former teammates are surprised. And I think more importantly, your family, your mother, your father, brother, those people around you that care most about you and are really in your life on a consistent basis, they're the ones that you let in. They're the ones that show acceptance and approval. And I think that that's where really, a lot of things could transpire from. And not showing signs to the people that you let into your inner circle as a real protective mechanism, to be able to do that means that you're, obviously very concerned about being accepted. And I think that that's the bigger issue here is what societal pressures would allow someone to mislead themselves and also other people for that long.
Point guard for the New York Knicks, Raymond Felton. In the Eastern Conference, you have the Heat, obviously two-time champions. They have the big three. You have the Pacers. Danny Granger's coming back. You have the Bulls. Derrick Rose is coming back. And, of course, you have the Nets, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett. In your mind, how do the Knicks stack up against the powers in the Eastern Conference?
I feel like we still right there. We still in that top three, in my opinion. We was the number two team in the East last year. Yes, we lost to Indiana, but we still won our division. And we still was the number two team, going into the playoffs. And I still feel like we still in that same position. We still have our same team. We still have the core of our team. And then on top of that, we add a Bargnani as a 7-footer, to really hit that jump shot for us. Then you have, Metta World Peace, who's I think overall is an overall player. He can guard all positions from 1 through 5. He's a 3-point threat. He can post up as well because he's strong. And he's going to help us out tremendously, man. I love our chances. I love the team that we have.
On the line now is a guy who's doing big things in Tyler Perry's hit movie, Temptation, Confession of a Marriage Counselor. Let's bring him in now, one of the stars, actor Robbie Jones. Well, we know that, you can tempt married women. We've seen you have a pedigree. We see what you can do. We've seen it. I would never bring my wife around you. I just don't know what you're capable of.
Come on now. That's Harley. That's not Robbie. That's called brother.
Let's bring him in now. Redskins quarterback and author of a new book, Game Changer, KIRK Cousins. Obviously, you want to be a starter in this league, but as long as RG3 is healthy, it's probably not going to happen. Is it difficult at times to stay patient?
I think patience is the name of the game for me, and it's not always easy to be patient, but that's what I need to do. And it's growing me as a person. It's teaching me a lot about life, that you got to wait your turn sometimes. And I had to do it at Michigan State, so it's not the first time I've done it. But certainly I'd like to play in this league and be a starter for a team and be more of a difference maker than I currently am as a backup. But the situation I'm in is I'm in Washington, D.C., and I can't control that I ended up here, but I can control how I play when I'm here, and that could lead me to an opportunity to start somewhere else. So I'm doing all I can right now to work hard and control that which I can control and become the best quarterback I can be, and come what may, whatever happens.
We're now joined by 4-time heavyweight champion, Evander Holyfield. Is it almost God's will for you? Do you believe it's almost God's will for you to be the undisputed champion at some point?
Well, I believe God give us a choice. he do give us a choice. He didn't say, Evander, you got to box. He don't say, Evander, you got to get up in the morning and run. But he said, but if you, for whatever you do in love, you do it for the right reason. But I just feel that, and being the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, it allowed the people to understand that God is still in the living business. He still bless plans. If you got a plan, God will bless it if it's going to benefit people. And I realized that, you know, of course, when I do this, I can tell the people, I told you I was going to do it. Yeah, and because there's a lot of people in life don't become who they are because they let somebody else determine their destination to what they're supposed to be.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much. You're very, very good at your job.
Thank you, sir.
Make it fun. You really do. So